Hello, my crafty friends. It's Crystal with Happy to Plan. I am going to be doing a craft with me today. I am doing a couple of 3 ring binder junk journals. I'm kind of in the middle of creating them, and I wanted to create some ephemera for the garden book that I have there in front of me. And I will link a haul video that I have that I showed you what this book looks like. So I'll link that at the top corner there. You should see the eye come up now if you want to take a look at that book haul. But basically, I wanted to create some tags for this journal. So let's go ahead and begin. So I've got a bunch of stuff sitting out here. I've got those 3 little tags there. I was going to do the bingo card, but I ended up not doing that. It just kind of became too much after doing just these 2 cards. So I need to figure out a process that actually allows me to do this a little bit quicker because I'm working on 3 different um, 3 ring binders right now. So if it's taking me this long just to make 2 tags, it took me 45 minutes. So this video is on like 3 times the speed. So yeah, it took me 45 minutes to get this done. So I'm a little bit concerned that if it takes me 45 minutes to do 2 tags, I'm not gonna have a whole lot of stuff done. So I need to figure out a process to get this done a little quicker. So that may actually be in the next video. I might have to experiment with doing multiple tags at one time. We will see if that happens. Leave a comment down below if you would like to see me attempt to do that. Um, all right, so basically what I'm doing is got this I got this idea from, and I'm gonna actually pull it up on Instagram because she just loaded a bunch of other tags as well. So I was scrolling through Instagram, and I am a follower of this company. Of course, now that I have it up, I can't find it. Hold on. I think it's called Paper. Oh, hold on. Dang it. Wait, is that it? Is it the Paper Tabby? Yes. So here it is. The Paper Tabby, Tappy. So she's created a couple of tags that have these little pockets on it, and I just thought that was a really cute idea. And I did this for my timeless journal. I made a pocket with a tag, or tag that had a pocket on it. And so I thought that I wanted to go ahead and do that as well for this tag. Now, that vellum came from Hobby Lobby, and I just had that in my stash. So I thought with the garden journal, I thought that would be fun to have that flower print on there. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm just doing a little bit of decorating on the tag itself, just so it's not so plain. So I did some stamping. And then these little rub-ons came from my sister. She gave them to me because it's not really her style, but I'm totally in love with them, and I've used a whole bunch of them already. So I am just using that little corner one there to just add some character to that little card. The little tag there is basically a tag that has like the word plant on it. So it's like a dictionary page with the word plant. So I think that's very appropriate for a garden journal. So I wanted to use that in there, and I thought it would be cute to put that in the pocket. I may do some additional stuff to that later on, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and just include that little tag in there. All right, so I did the rub on the corner, and I just wanted to do one more little rub on there at the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and I cut out the rub on just so I can place it exactly where I want it to be. And then, yeah, just use my popsicle stick, and there it's done. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I was playing with this little piece. That piece actually came from that book. So in between each of the pieces, there's this little piece of tracing paper almost, I guess. And I was kind of playing with maybe putting that on top of there. I ultimately ended up not doing that, but I don't know. I might go back and do it because I kind of like the way it looks. I feel like it dulls down the whiteness of that tag. So I'm not sure. But ultimately I don't, in this video, I don't put it on there. I'm trying to erase that little mark. Of course, I can't see it when the tag's in there, but if it's like the only thing I see when the tag isn't in there is that little mark that I made with the stamp. All right, so I'm just going to get some fibers out here. These actually came from a cheaply chic collection. I'm not sure which one, but I had some left over from that collection, so I decided to go ahead and use those. I thought the yellow and the pink would look really good with this tag. So you can see there, I kind of went back and punched that hole, and we're still debating on whether or not to use that little piece. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take out a couple of fibers and put them on the top hole. I'm just stringing them through. And then once I do get them in the right spot, I'm going to go ahead and trim that up, and then I'm going to glue on the pocket. Oh yeah, I had this kind of like raffia. I think that's what it's called in there as well. So I just put that little bit on that tag. Okay, I'm just using my Fabrifix glue or Fabri-Tac, same thing, to glue this pocket on. The nice thing about it is that it's completely see-through. You can't see it. I was gonna sew it, but my sewing machine is it's acting up right now. Like the tension is not good, and I need to get it fixed, or I need to figure out how to fix it. It probably just needs to be cleaned. So unfortunately, I can't do any sewing. Okay, so I had this book page. This book page actually came from one of the Ideals books, and I used the other piece of that in the actual journal, but then I had that little piece left. So, and I really wanted to use it because I like the fact that the lady is gardening. I think just the illustration is really nice. So you can see here I'm just kind of debating on what to do and adding some different pieces there, trying some different pieces out. I ultimately don't use any of the stuff I'm showing you right now, but I'm just kind of showing you the different things I go through when I'm going through the options. That's probably why it takes me 45 minutes, because I have too many options. There's too many things. All right, so I found this book page that I had in my stash. I don't know where I got it. I think it probably came from Happy Mail. Okay, so I'm going to use it, just a little piece of this. And I really wanted that one piece to kind of be the focal point, but I did want to do some collaging on this tag just because I like the look of that. And so I placed that kind of in that space that was kind of empty. And then I needed to find a piece that could go behind it. So I found this. This came from one of my gardening books that I have, and I just ripped it so that the word plant is at the top. And then I'm just laying everything down and getting it all on there. I like how that looks so far, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to find a couple more pieces. I felt like it just needed something else. I wasn't sure what it was, but I felt like it needed something else. And I grabbed one of these little tickets. I definitely wanted to use that. I love that pop of color. And I don't know, maybe it's the whole fact that it's, been Memorial Day weekend and stuff like that, the whole red, white, and blue. I don't know, but I just like that pop of red in there. So I'm going to go ahead and use that little piece. And then I'm just going to ink everything up. And I am sorry, I should have probably cut out all the inking part, but it's going so fast that it'll be done here in a second, and then you won't have to watch me ink. So yeah, and then I did need to trim up that piece a little bit because the 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 page was just a little tiny too big. I wanted it to have just a little bit more of the back, that green piece that I was going to put behind there to show a little bit. So I just trimmed it just a tiny bit just to give me a little bit more of that green showing through. And then I'm just going to trim it up from the bottom to the top. And then I'm going to cut that part off because I'm not going to need that whole piece. And then I can use that for something else. Okay, so there's what that looks like. And then I felt like it just needed, again, just needs something. So I'm going to go back to my stash there and try to find something. I was thinking about maybe putting something, a little strip like that, but then I was thinking it's too elongated. I need something that went across to kind of break up the linearness of it. So I am going to put something across the bottom here in a second after I try out 15 million different things going the wrong way. Okay, I did want to use that little, I think it's an orchid, I think. And I thought it would look cute right there, just kind of in that space where the tree is. So I am putting that there, and then I'm going to, I felt like it needed another element to it. So I have this ticket punch. I bought it at Joann's, and I just grabbed one of those pieces of paper. It kind of has like a botanical checklist almost on it. So I thought that would kind of give it some interest behind that one little ticket. And then I thought at this point I needed to add a different element to it because it was all paper. So I wanted to add a little bit of ribbon or lace or something. So I just kind of going through the different options that I potentially had. I was kind of thinking I wanted to bring out some of that green, but I didn't really have the right color green. And then I just found this little piece in my stash and liked the fact that it was still see-through. You could still see the images behind it. So that's what I ultimately went with. And then I just like to do things in threes. So I couldn't have just 2 tickets on there. I had to have a third one. So I just grabbed my ticket punch again and just punched out this little floral print. And then I'm just going to, again, add another element to that page. So I thought it needed a little bit of metal. So I'm just going to staple those 2 together. I did get that staple at Daiso Japan, and it is a smaller staple. It's the same size staple as the Tiny Chatter from Tim Holtz. It's probably not as high quality as the Tiny Chatter from Tim Holtz, but it's the same little staple. So if you're looking for a alternative to that kind of expensive punch, I definitely recommend that. I think it works really well. Okay, so then I'm just going to get everything glued on, and I'm just using my glue stick here, and I even used the glue stick to glue the lace on because it was kind of, it was definitely thin enough to use that. And then I went ahead and used the Fabri-Tac for that little cluster there just because I knew that that was going to be a little bit heavier. And then I'm going to get that glued on, and that's pretty much the end. That's what I did. So I'm going to show you a little bit closer up of what the 2 tags look like. So there's the tag with a little pocket in the front. And then the other one is just going to be kind of like a journaling card that I'll put into a pocket. All right, well that was it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.